This is a question involving interpreting a graph. Rory has a weekend job. His total pay per day is a fixed rate plus tips. The tips are a percentage of the customer spend. The graph below shows Rory total pay per day depending on the customer spend, where R is the total pay per day in euros and S is the customer spend in hundreds of euro. Part A, what was Rory's fixed rate per day? That is, the pay when the customer has spent €0. Well, we see at €0, it seems that Rory always gets this €80 regardless. So €80 would be his fixed rate. He gets that whether customers spend money or not. On one day, the customer spends €500, so S is 5. How much was Rory paid on that day? Well, this is where S is 5. So on the graph, that's this part here. And we can see, if we come along here, we can see this part of the graph relates to between 120 and 140, which is €130 on the graph here. So it seems that on that day he's paid €130. How much was Rory paid in tips on that day? Well, he gets €80 anyway, and he's earned 130. So the difference here, the jump between 80 and 130 must be the tips. And the jump here, we can see, is a jump of €50. Because 130 take 80 is €50. The point 2.5105 is on the graph. Explain what this means in the context of Rory's total pay and his customer spend. This would mean that customers spend 2.5 lots of 100, which is €250, and it means that Rory gets paid €105. Three equations are given below in terms of R and S. Tick the correct box to show which one corresponds to the graph of Rory's total pay, and justify your answer. Well, let's go up and have a look at our graph again, showing Rory's pay. So to understand any straight line graph, it's useful to think of it in terms of y equals mx plus c. In this, c stands for the y-intercept, where the line crosses the y-axis. We can see in this example, c is 80. M is the slope of the graph. So what's the slope of this graph? Well, we can see every time we go out 1, we go up 10. So the slope is positive 10. Rise over run 10 divided by 1 or positive 10. So in this question here, we can say that the slope of this is 10. So the name of this graph gives us R is equal to 10 times S plus 80. So let's have a look which one of our choices looks like this. So over three choices, well, this one does have 80, but it's negative 10, so it's not this one, because the slope is positive 10. This one here, it's not this one, because the y-intercept is 130 in this one, but it is this one. This is the correct one. And the reason for it is y-intercept is 80, and the slope is 10. Killian also has a weekend job. Killian's total pay per day is C, where C is 60 plus 20S. Draw a graph to show Killian's pay. Again, this looks like a straight line graph. It looks like the shape of this is y is equal to mx plus c. In this example, we can see that the y-intercept, c, is this number 60. So this is where it crosses the y-axis. So I can put a little dot there. The slope of this one is 20. M is 20. What that means is every time the customer spend increases by 1, C increases by 20. So I go out 1 and I go up a distance 20. And I could keep doing this, and it's like steps in a ladder. It gives me a number of points in this straight line. So now I join these dots here, and I see that it's a straight line looking like this. Of course, you do this with a ruler yourself. So this is the line C is equal to 60 plus 20. Yes.